Hi, my name is Shawn. This is the second time I'm doing one of these sort of introductory videos speaking to the listener. For those who are watching, I appreciate it. The purpose of these songs was to tell my sons my side of the story and what happened in Texas. So the lyrics are true. I changed some of the names to protect the innocent and so forth. But the purpose of this album was, with Matt Wallace being producer and mixing engineer, to tell them through the lyrics and videos with my video director what happened and why it happened. And this song and 10 songs in total on this album are played by Josh Freese on drums, who's now with the Foo Fighters. Two of the songs, Faith No More, Billy Gould and Mike Bordin played on. And the album's called The Death of Hope, the Ballad of Sohan and Ishaan Bardhan. And this song is Josh Freese on drums, and it's called They Started War. Check out the floor toms. So, I can pause it here. My friend who did the video put in this image of, I guess, Jason Voorhees. I was born and raised in Voorhees, New Jersey, but I didn't think it was a big deal. There were some people, when they saw the initial thumbnail for the video, that were offended or scared about what the video was going to be about. But really, this is just a small snippet within the story, and it's not even really that part of it. Maybe there's some symbolism, maybe it's not. But it's up to the audience to interpret. So this gentleman, ironically, it's not an actual image of him, but it kind of looks like him. He was my quote-unquote little brother. I was an only child, and he lived down the street. And I thought he was my best friend, and in the end, he turned out to be a snake in the grass. And like a lot of the Indians in the South Jersey community who I thought were my friends. But anyway, so this verse is about three people in particular who I thought were my close friends, who were all really just backstabbers and jealous. And the next verse is about my former spouse and her new husband. But let's let it play. So these people in South Jersey are, they're very much materialistic, and at the same time they're always talking nice to your face and, you know, pouring acid on your name behind your back. But these three people that I'm talking about here, they all pretty much live off their parents' money, and they've pretty much done nothing in life. Some of them were smart and did nothing, and they never left their hometown, basically. And it's a very, very toxic community, and I kind of extricated myself from them, and almost all my friends are not in the Indian circle anymore, and maybe people I met through music or through the internet. But that's what these lyrics are about. Spineless cook, acid flashback, still lacking a buck. He's still sucking mommy's teeth. Best not see y'all on my street. Your glass house about to break. Best sink your... Basically, a lot of these people said things or did things to me and got away with it and thought they were getting away with it. But I think someone said about Taylor Swift is never antagonize a writer or an artist, because they'll memorialize you in a song. So the first verse is kind of like a diss track, as they say, the young kids say. But the next verse after this bit here, and the drum interlude, is about my former spouse and her new husband, who is now my kid's stepdad, living in my house. In the lake, stones. My heater's known to break bones, like said. So the heater's known to break bones. That's a baseball reference, and my video guy, he put the baseball in it. That was cool of him. So it's known as a fastball, and back in the day, I was a bit of an athlete for my relative stature and ethnicity. But I could throw pretty hard, so when I was talking about throwing stones and glass houses and stuff, that's what the heater reference is to, is my heater's known to break bones. So this is the first song on the album, and it tells a story chronologically. And so this is literally the first salvo or return salvo from the Defense. They started war, so it's probably the hardest hitting as far as the drums and lyrically. And the album kind of starts heavy and gradually gets less heavy as it goes. But this song, I was really proud of the drums and what Josh Freese did and Matt Wallace with the production. Also, Maor Appelbaum was the mastering engineer, and he's very, very accomplished. And I was really happy to have these people help me on this album. Basically, people of this stature who've been in these bands, who've sold hundreds of millions of records, they don't have to help someone who's basically an amateur starting late in music like me. But when I met Matt, who was one of my idols from a production standpoint, I told him that his album Angel Dust in 1992 is one of the reasons I'm even doing any of this, or I like music. And that was a Faith No More album. So when he heard my story about my sons and Texas and such, he was able to contact Faith No More and Josh Freese and other luminaries in Los Angeles to help me get my story out, because it was so hard to believe that they're like, this is just crazy, we got to help this guy. So that's how I was lucky enough to get them, all thanks to Matt Wallace. So this verse is about telling people lies, poisoning my son's ears all these years in Texas. The grandfather, the uncle, I'm pretty sure the mother, either in her silence or complicitly, are all tarnishing whatever memories my sons have of me, and also my name and everything. One way I know this is they changed my son's name. Actually, I found out on the internet because he's a bit of a soccer star locally, and he's on the Olympic Development Program. And I saw my elder son's name was changed on social media, and it's illegal to change your child's name without the parents' consent unless the father has been dead for 7 years. And they know I haven't been dead for 7 years. In fact, they've seen me at his soccer game. I drove from Oakland to Dallas just to see him, and so they know I'm here. I was sending my videos to them in a group text between her and her mom, but that stopped years ago. So now I'm presenting my videos here on this channel, and hopefully my sons see them and hear what happened from my perspective. But anyway, so this verse is about my former spouse and her new husband, who was the boss, who's now stepdad, who's 70 years old and she's 43. So this is the timing of this video is interesting. I found out some recent information as far as the case and meaning my divorce case and so forth that I'm not going to get into now, but also gotten some recent correspondence that indicates that hopefully they're realizing that I'm not the person that they painted me to be, and hopefully my sons will see this song and all my videos and stories that my friend Larry is helping me do, and hopefully I'll be reunited with them soon. As far as my health, I'm still fighting the battle, and I'm still here, so as long as I'm here, I'll try to keep adding to the story, and I appreciate your support.
About to break, better sink yourself in the lake. You should not throw stones. My heater's known to break.
So I was an attorney before, and I tell people sometimes that I don't start arguments usually, or at least intentionally, but I tend to finish them. And so this is, I feel like I was attacked by her side of the family on so many levels, financially and otherwise, and this is just my response. So that's what these songs are about. There's other songs and other videos on my channel you can check out that flesh out the story more from all different facets.
Like Patton said, F for fake. Come to Jesus at your wake.
So the drums on this album, the mastering engineer Maor Appelbaum, I asked him what stood out about the album, and he said definitely the drums, and I would agree that drums are the strongest point. My vocals are probably the weakest point, obviously. Lyrics maybe second weakest point, but there's some really good professional musicians who helped me, and I was proud of how it turned out. But really check out Josh's power and why he's been selected for the Foo Fighters gig, which is one of the biggest, highest paying gigs in the world. I'd like to take a second to thank Larry and Official Music Syndicate for the videos. As you can see, this is one of the oldest ones, and as technology has changed, you can see the videos evolving and the quality and the style and the direction and what they've helped me do. I'm really impressed with. But one thing I really think Larry is good at is the editing and the timing of the changes, and sometimes he picks a certain image that fits right with that word right at that moment. And there's a lot of editing and tedious work that goes into making a 4-minute video or whatever it is. It might take hours, days, but I do appreciate his help. And without him, I wouldn't be able to flesh out the story. And also without Matt Wallace and Bill Gould and Josh Freese and Mike Borden and Maor Appelbaum and all them guys. So this verse is important. This is about my brother-in-law. I won't name his name, but he's kind of an angry guy, and he gets away with it. He has some psychological conditions that have been diagnosed, but he's also an alcoholic and a drug addict. But he's a medical doctor. So in the Indian community, if you're a doctor, you're basically at God level. So his father washes away all his problems legally and financially, and the reason I'm saying this is because he's not too different than me, but he's completely different. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met, but I don't understand why they can treat him one way as their son, and even if I'm similar on some level, why her parents and him and her, I guess now, treat me so differently. especially because I'm the father of her sons.
Ex-pro-in law dog beat her ass red. At 30, teen MCAT student, walled up her skull with indent.
So that line is about a friend of mine who was actually his ex-girlfriend. She was 18 and he was, I think, 31, and he was her student. She was a student-teacher relationship in the MCAT program, which is a medical college admissions test. So it was inappropriate for him to be dating his student, and even what he did with her later, it's in the lyrics, involving the police and her injuries. That's all factual, but it seems like it's okay for him to do anything because he's on deity level in their family and in Indian society because he's a medical doctor. Anyhow, she's a doctor now in Oklahoma. She's still my friend. And in spite of the domestic violence and battered women syndrome, because of the battered women syndrome, she still loves this guy. And she's married to someone else and she has kids, but she's a doctor now.
Married doctor mom now, and yet to him she'll still avow. Battered women weep in the shroud, like his papa make him proud. Your glass house of
The last lyric, battered women weep in the shroud, like his papa make him proud. I guess that speaks for itself. As far as the grandfather and, their household growing up in the violence.
about to break. Best sink yourself in the lake. Y'all should not throw stones. My heater's known to break bones. Like Patton said, F.
So the next two videos after this, one's called Brown Squadron, In Name of Father, and the other one's called Blue Sea, Walk the Plank. Those are sort of a trilogy with this song as far as the war battle sort of theme. And as the album goes on, there's a lot of different styles and videos that flesh out certain genres and things of that nature. But I'm glad that you're watching this, if you are, Sohan and Ishaan, and hopefully you can check out the rest of the videos and songs, and hopefully I'll get to do some more here before my time is up.
For fake. Come to Jesus at your wake.
I just have to say again that Josh Freese is just like a machine, and he hits really hard, almost like not John Bonham, but sort of that heavy-handed, and he's always on time. And go check out some of his live footage with the Foo Fighters and other bands. He's played on so many records. He was probably the most sought after session drummer in LA before he took the gig. I think this album was the last full album he played on, my album, before he took the Foo Fighters gig. Actually, I was the one who told Matt Wallace. I was like, hey, Matt, I'm texting him like, is Josh the new drummer of the Foo Fighters? And so actually, because Matt gave Josh his first job and brought him into the fold. And so Matt's known him 30 years, and I'm the one that broke the news but I was guessing because I was doing the math and watching what was going on. And I'm just, every time I see Josh Freese, I'm like, wow, that guy played on my album, and I'm so lucky. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate your support, and hope to see you soon, Sohan and Ishaan. Thank you.